Hey, everybody, welcome back to Big Blue Confidential. I am Scott Fryer, and I have been away for a while. And it's been quite the adventure, to say the least. We are mercifully at the end of another, what's the word I'm looking for? Terrible. Terrible is good. Terrible. Another terrible Giants football season. I hesitate to say it's been the worst season because, and I've seen that tossed around on a lot of social medias. And we got our Facebook friends here. We got our TikTok people over here. You guys asking questions or asking me on TikTok, I'll have to get back to you guys because I can't see that far. I'm old, so I can't really see, but I can see your comments. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, I can see your comments there. I'll answer your questions when I can. But yeah, I see the socials and I see people, wow, this is the worst season in Giants football history. It's not. Okay. Last year was way worse than this year. And I say that with a little trepidation because this year I wanted to see competitive football. Yes, our record was 4-13. I understand this. That is not competitive football. But if you look at the core, if you look at it and you see just the record and just the result, then you're going to be like, oh, this was terrible. Oh, another terrible season. In a sense, yes, it is obviously losing 14 or 13 freaking games is terrible. But really, the only game we weren't ever in was the Patriots game. And that was the game that Ryan and I went to. And we were not in that game. From the moment kickoff, the 42-yard return for opening kickoff, drove down the field. We held them to a field goal. We went 3 and out. We punt, and bang, 10-0. They returned the punt for a touchdown, and that was the end of that. We had fun anyway. Well, this guy, Patriots fan, he had a blast, busting my balls the whole time. But it was fun. The people were cool. Listen, I had a great tailgate season. I mean, this was the best tailgate season I've had. So any of my J18 folks watching out there, man, I love you guys. It's been great. It was a great season. I already missed them. I hadn't seen them since the 21st of December, and I miss those guys. They're like a another family, I guess. If you're a part of that, then you know exactly what I mean. Those people are like an extended family, and I already miss them. And I don't want to wait until next September to see them. I know that we do a tailgate for the draft party, but I actually have a lacrosse game that day, so I cannot attend the draft party. Someday I'll go. But it was another great tailgate season. Made some more friends, made more connections. Just it became all about the tailgate for us because we knew the Giants were ass anyway, and they were most likely going to lose. I got to see them win a game this year. Thankfully, last year I did not get to see them win a game. But we were at Jackson Dart's first game against the Chargers, and I got to see him win. And I got to see him compete. I got to see him against San Francisco. I had great seats thanks to my friend Lisa. I upgraded my seats. I was about 10 rows from the field in the end zone, and I got a great shot. If you're following me on the TikTok, you see my video of how close I was. I was like right there when he ran in the end zone for a touchdown. It was great. The kid makes me feel happy. Obviously, we got Scat. Hopefully he returns healthy with his ankle. He looks great. I've seen it. He's been at the games. He did the Let's Go Big Blue to start the game the other night. And I don't why did we get rid of the victory bell? I mean, I guess if you're not winning games, you can't really call it a victory bell. Now we just do the Go Big Blue with one of the Giants legends, but we had Scat do it. He looks great. Wandale had a fantastic season this year. And listen, Jackson Dart. There are some people in our circle, and I say our circle, I mean this circle here, the New York Giants fan kingdom, that feel like we should trade Jackson Dart and get a quarterback in the draft. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. And I think most sensible fans, I mean, listen, you are free to have your own opinions on anything you want to. That's the beauty of living in this country. You can have an opinion, right or wrong. You're allowed to have your opinion. But if you don't think that Jackson Dart is a terrific young player. Now, everybody, I get it. He needs to stay healthy. Now, if you saw the last few games, he looked like a different quarterback running the football. He wasn't trying to take on tacklers. He was getting out of bounds. Yeah, he took a couple pops, and people are trying to do it. Don't think that people are not trying to hurt that kid. I don't remember what game it was. Maybe somebody can refresh me on this. I forget what game it was. They were saying, "Hey, we gotta hit him hard." I forget what game. It might have been the Washington game. I'm not sure, but somebody had a plan coming in, and it'll come to me probably after I end the show tonight. One of those coaches was like, "Hey, we know what he's gonna do. Let's hit him. Let's hit him hard." Okay, that's not what we want. We want him to slide. We want him to get out of bounds because we need him. Right? Terrific season, just under 3,000 yards, ran for 15 or threw 15 touchdowns, ran for 9 touchdowns. He was our offense, guys. Once Scat went down, Tyrone Tracy Jr. had a great year, over 1,000 yards from scrimmage this year for the second straight year in a row. We still need to get that 1,000-yard rusher. I think he had just under 800 yards rushing. But, I mean, we're set up. Offensively, not a problem. We get Neighbors back. They're going to draft a receiver at 5. I saw a mock draft, the first mock draft, right? It's only January 8th. Or it's the 8th? 9th. Today's January 9th. I already saw a mock draft. I had the Giants picking the receiver at a USC. So, it was Washington Redskins. It was Dan Quinn. So I was right. Thank you for that. Dan Quinn said, go out and hit Dart. They were. The Redskins, the Commanders, they went out and they were popping them. That was another game that we lost. We probably should have won that game. The Vikings game, that was a brutal game. And it was cold that day. Not as cold as it was for Washington, because that's the game it snowed. We went to the game. We stayed overnight. Thank God, because if I had not gone down to Jersey for the game Saturday night and met my friends at the hotel and hung out with my friends, I would not have gone Sunday morning, because it was 6 to 8 inches of snow down there when we got there. They opened up the parking lots like 45 minutes, an hour late. We still had a great time, but we had to shovel our spot out. It was brutally cold. It was windy, and that was the Washington game. But the week after was the Commanders game, and it was no snow, bright sunshine, but man, it was windy and it was cold. And then watching that hot mess on the field, Dart threw for 33 yards on 13 pass attempts. I mean, that was, I don't know. Kafka should not be considered for this job. I mean, yeah, we won the last 2 games. We beat the Raiders. We beat Dallas, which is always a good thing. I'm never going to root. We're going to get to that in a minute. But, I mean, the game plan for Minnesota was terrible. 7 for 13 for 33 yards and an interception. Okay, the interception he threw, I'm not worried about that, right? Because he threw it. It went surprisingly went off Theo Johnson's hands right to the Vikings defender. And our defense played well that game, but you couldn't say that a lot. I mean, they played well in the Dallas game. I know Dallas took their starters out, because you cannot tell me, you can't sit here and tell me that the Cowboys weren't trying to pad Dak's stats in the first half. And I knew that Giants were there to play. They were not going to lay down. They were not going to lay down. They were not going to quit. They weren't going to tank. And the Giants came to play. When the Cowboys realized that, they just sat Dak down in the second half. And I don't care. I don't care if it was the practice squad. Anytime that you can beat Dallas, it's a good day. Don't care what our records are. I don't care what their record is. I don't care. Anytime you beat Dallas is a good day. Let's get to the tanking thing, right? We got a lot to cut through here. I mean, you don't have a lot of time. Let's get to the tanking thing, because I have friends that I respect who are up my rear end because they think I'm crazy. They think that I'm just blindly following my team. They think that we should absolutely tank. And I'm just going to say this. And if you feel that way, that's fine. I respect your opinion. Like I said at the start of the show, everyone has a different opinion. But me personally, I don't want to tank. I don't care about something that might happen in April, about a player that might be good in 2026. I care about the 2025 version of the New York Football Giants, whether we're 1-16, 16-1. I do not care. I want our best players out there, and you can't use it. Well, we sit the team sit their players all the time when they're but the Colts used to do it all the time with Peyton Manning. After they finally lost the game, and they realized we cannot go undefeated, so let's bench Manning for the next 2 or 3 games, so he doesn't get hurt for the playoffs. Well, that never works out because all those years they did that, and the Patriots knocked him out of the playoffs, or somebody knocked him. He didn't win. Right? You keep playing your guys because I guarantee you. And Tony, I was just going to say it. Players do not want to tank. Every single one of those guys on that field, every single player on that team that is wearing the uniform, that buckles their chin strap on Sunday, they're fighting for their jobs. There is absolutely 0% chance that any of those dudes on that field care about the draft. They care about the team that is around them currently, and that is how I feel. I don't care about the draft. I don't. Number 5 pick, great. We won 2 games and we dropped from 1st to 5th. People were so mad about it after the Raiders game. I did not care. I was happy we won. Now, if we end up losing, it's a different disappointed than if we were fighting for a playoff spot, or if we were 11-5 and we end up, blowing a game and we end up losing. That's a different kind of disappointed, or a different kind of different kind of disappointed in losing, because I still get disappointed. Don't care. Every time we lose, it hurts. A little piece of me dies every time the Giants lose a football game, and that's a lot lately. But I'm never going to, not once ever, going to root against the New York Football Giants. Now, conversely, if we do not go out there and hire the right head coach, I might start second guessing that. I might change my mind on that, because I will start openly rooting against them. Because I can't sit here for another football season, pay good money to go to these games, and I'm sitting there in the freezing cold in section 334, row 18, every Sunday, and watch this product. This year it was the offense. The last few years it was the defense that was carrying the team. This year it was the offense that carried the team, even without arguably our best player on offense. Well, it's not arguably. Malik Neighbors is the best player on offense. Jackson Dart and him next year are going to hook up. And if we get any of those top 3 or 4 wide receivers in this draft, I'm telling you right now, folks, buckle up, because it's going to be awesome. You get Scat coming back. You got Tracy Jr. who's going to have a good season. They're going to touch the ball a lot. We can get Theo Johnson to, get rid of his frying pan hands and learn how to catch a football. I really like his skill set, but he has a problem with not securing the football. And it's frustrating to watch. And we talk about Darius Slayton, same thing. How many more times are going to watch that guy drop a football? How many times are we going to see that guy drop a crucial catch on a 3rd down and 3rd and 8, and he runs a beautiful 12-yard route. He's open. Dart drills one into his hands, and he drops it. There was one, I think it was the Redskins game, when we were trying to tie the score up, and it was a 3rd and 8 or a 3rd and 11, something around there. I don't remember exactly. Dart hit him with an absolutely perfect pass right in the hands. I mean, it could not have been a better throw, and he dropped it, and that was it. Done. It's happened a dozen times this year, and we owe that guy $12 million a year for the next 3 years. I'm rooting for the guy. He's wearing the uniform of my team, and I'm going to root for him. I want to see him do well. What I can't see. What you said? Oh. Oh, I got my producer over here. Got jokes, but I liken my thought on Darius Slayton to, for you Yankee fans out there, my thoughts on Darius Slayton are just like my thoughts of Anthony Volpe. I do not want to see him fail. People go through tough times. We do it at our jobs. We go through tough. No one's standing at your desk booing you when you have a bad day, or you have a bad few weeks. Everybody has bad times. It's frustrating to watch. Yes, absolutely. You think your boss isn't frustrated with you if you're not productive at work? Of course. That's why I don't boo my own players. I'm not going to boo Slayton. I'll be mad about it, but I want him to succeed. Right? I say the same thing about a lot of things. Like it's like being in an airplane and wanting the pilot to crash. I don't like this guy. I hope he crashes the plane. You're on the plane. Okay? You want Darius Slayton to do well. You want to boo him. I get it. You pay money to see it. You want to boo. It's just not me. And I try to stay positive. I try to be the positive guy, positive outlook guy, right? The season ended last week after our win against the Cowboys, and I was optimistic on Monday morning. I was excited about a lot of the things that I saw in 2025 from this team. A lot of things I'm not very excited about, defensively mostly, special teams mostly, right? But we had to figure out our kicker situation this offseason too. That's a whole nother thing. Was that the Patriots game when the kicker kicked the ground? When Koo kicked the ground, was that the game we were at? I think that was the Patriots game. Yeah, exactly. That was. Man, I just hate being the meme. I hate being the meme.
It was 3 feet away.
Well, in his defense, he did say because the snap was kind of weird, and when Gilliam put it down, he wasn't sure if he was going to kick it or not, and he kind of like vapor locked. We've done it. We've all done it, right? You have the hard reset of your brain in the middle of your buffering in the middle of something, right? I've done it here on the show. I've just lost the thread broke, and that's what happened. So unfortunately, it happened on Monday Night Football where millions of people are watching. Poor guy, but I mean he's awful anyway. You get cut by the Falcons, it's probably not a good thing. So we got to figure out the kicker situation. We got to get another weapon for Dart. We got to get Slayton and Johnson to catch the football. And mostly, we have to figure out the run defense. Let's draft a nasty backer or get another free agent. Get a guy, get a nasty backer up the middle, somebody to stop it, right? Because our defensive line, they played pretty well, right? Obviously, Burns had a tremendous season. If it wasn't for Myles Garrett, he'd probably be the defensive player of the year. And congrats to Myles Garrett, by the way. He broke the sack record, Michael Strahan sack record. And I don't want to hear, well, he did it in 17 games. Well, Strahan did it in 16, and Brett Favre literally laid down. There's a lot of talk about whether Burrow laid down. It wasn't as obvious, I'll put it that way, if Burrow laid down for Garrett. But good for him. Records were meant to be broken, right? Strahan and LT, two legends. I had mixed feelings about when Strahan broke LT's record. But I was happy because, Strahan's one of my, if not my favorite player ever on the Giants. It's pretty close who my favorite player is. So I was happy for Garrett. It's cool to see it. You're witnessing history, so good for him. But we need somebody. We need somebody up the middle. Like Dex, he got hurt at the end. He wasn't himself for a while. He got called out by Carl Banks, and we got to respect what Carl says. Carl's been there and he's done it, man. He's got the T-shirt. He's got several T-shirts. You listen to what Carl says because people got mad about it. I see it on TikTok. I see it. Did it 209. It was actually somebody just said on TikTok he did it in less. It was a Browns fan. He said he did it in 200 less snaps. Yes, it was actually 219 less snaps, I believe. Someone can fact check that for me. I'm sure he will. But I think it was 219 less snaps than Strahan did. So listen, the record's the record. I don't care about any of that. People want to say, oh, not the home run king because he hit 73 home runs and he was on juice and he did it in 162 games. And the record is the record, my guy. Congrats. I like it. I like to see witnessing history. As long as it ain't anyone from the Eagles. That's all I'll say. But we run stoppers. We got to have run stoppers. Burns had a fantastic season. When Carter figured it out, 23 sacks. Yeah, does it give the number on how many snaps? Doesn't give that out. Good try though. How many snaps Did he do it? And how many snaps did Strahan do? That's what we're trying to find out. I say it's 219 less snaps that Garrett did. Now you threw me off. You cut my thread. The run stopper. I mean, Abdul Carter. Let's talk about that real quick. People were down on him for good reason. Immaturity. I mean, obviously the guy can play. The guy's a stud. I watched him play in college. I'm a Penn State guy. I watched him play in college. I was excited that the Giants drafted him. I was excited. I bought his jersey on draft night. And everyone's like, well, he wanted LT's jersey. He's not playing. Like, he was joking. I kind of mostly joking, maybe tongue in cheek. I don't really feel like he wanted to wear LT's number. So it's 200. It's 100 and how much is it? 130 less snaps. I don't know. I feel like he didn't want. Really, I don't think he reasonably expected to wear LT's number. So stop that, please. What do they do when the NFL puts in another game, which is going to happen? Yeah, I mean, the NFL is going to. Someone will break that record, right? T.J. Watt tied Strahan last year. I think it was last year. Another fantastic player I love to watch. It's going to happen. But just enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's entertainment. It's not life and death. People act like it's, oh my God. Like, stop, please. Enjoy it for what it is, man. The Giants are responsible for some of the greatest days of my life that don't involve my children or don't involve my military career. Sports-wise, the New Jersey Devils, New York Giants, and the New York Yankees have provided some of the best days of my life.
We got a couple questions over on your TikTok over here.
Okay.
What would you be okay with Stefanski?
Stefanski is, I like Stefanski, but I feel like he is a mirror image of Brian Daboll, who I also like, by the way. And I swear to God, I saw, if Brian Daboll has a twin brother, I saw him in Nashville last week. We were in Boot Barn. And I swear to God, Brian Daboll, he was a little too short, and I think his beard was a little gray. But I swear to God, it was Brian Daboll. But I think Stefanski is Brian Daboll part 2.0. I feel like it has to be. I think it's going to be, because I got some news right before I got in the Jeep and drove over here, Brian. I got some news. There's my cuz Sam. He's AO. That's my favorite. 1A. She's 1A Detroit Lions fan because her mom is my 1 Detroit Lions fan. She's my 1A. I feel for them because listen. Yes, I feel for my cousins because they are diehard, dyed in the wool. No matter what happens, they will always root for their Detroit Lions, and I respect that. I give them a hard time about it when they lose, but I really respect that, and I hope someday for them, your Detroit Lions get to win a Super Bowl, and you get to experience that. But yeah, I feel it's going to be. I think it's going to be Harbaugh. I feel like it's going to be Harbaugh. Like I said, I had news on the way in that Harbaugh and the Giants have mutual interest. He wants to come to the Giants. I know there was talk about the Dolphins, and they were going to let him help pick the GM, but they picked their GM today. Guy came from the Packers, so that's off the table. Which I don't think that eliminates the Dolphins necessarily, because why would you not want to go to South Beach? I know it's the Dolphins. I think we're in a better situation to win in the future than the closer future, near future. Is that how you say it? I think we're in a better position to win sooner than the Dolphins. How's that? And I feel like Harbaugh is the guy. And I feel like when sometime next week, when the Giants meet him, that's going to happen. They're just ironing out the details of when it is. I feel like when it does happen, you cannot, under any circumstances, allow him to leave that building without a handshake agreement at minimum to be the next head coach of the New York Giants, because that is a 100% guaranteed instant game changer for the New York Giants. I promise you, because and this is my opinion, again, my opinion. The next move that the New York Giants make will be a head coach. No matter who they select in the draft, picking the next head coach will be a much bigger, a much more important move because coaching matters in the NFL. Yes, you have to have talent to win, but coaching matters. Take it. I promise you. And I don't like to blow my own horn, but I was just going to give you an example. I am a coach. I coach high school sports. I took over a team, and I took over from the coach that was let go. Same kind of situation. They had the pieces in place, but they could not get over the hump. I came in. I made those kids believe in themselves. Right? I gave them a reason. I gave them a why. And they had the best record, the best season they've had in program history. We didn't win the state championship. We made it further than they ever have. Because coaching matters, right? Having a guy in charge, leadership, right? And you know all about it. You just wrote a book on it. Okay? You have to have the guy in place. Look at what's happening in New England. Yes, I know they had the easiest schedule, but sometimes, yeah, it is the player and not the coach. I get that. He's not going to play, but you have to make those guys believe in themselves. I understand what you're saying. I do.
It's the buy-in for the mission of the team.
It is. Being an effective leader is getting people to do things they don't necessarily want to do and be happy about doing it. That's how you lead. Right? Look at what happened in the 2007 season when Michael Strahan came back. Tom Coughlin, he almost quit football because he didn't like Tom Coughlin. Tiki Barber quit because he's a BFQ. And I'm not going to say that on the air, what that means. But if you do a little research, you could probably figure that out. I do respect Tiki and I like Tiki, but for a while there, I was not a fan. But he quit on his team. And then they won the Super Bowl the year he quit, which made me so happy. But Strahan almost followed him because they didn't like Tom Coughlin. Because Tom Coughlin, he held his players accountable. That was a huge problem with the New York Giants this year. No accountability. That's the problem with the New York Yankees. There's no accountability. Because leaders lead. They lead from the front. They hold their guys accountable. And they make their guys do their job. That was why Bill Belichick was so great at his job. That and Tom Brady. But Bill Belichick held his players accountable. He didn't care who you were. He threw Brady under the bus. How many times do you see him throw Brady under the bus? Saying, hey, that's the quarterback's job. Right? All you can do is teach your guys. They have to go out and do it. Right? But once they understand that, they get better. They get better. Coaching matters. I used the Patriots as an example. Yes, I said they have the best record. They had the best record in the league, or second best record in the league. Yes, they had the easiest schedule in the league. They're a mirror of the 2022 New York Giants. Except we didn't have the best record, but we made the playoffs with the easiest schedule in the league, and then we flopped. But they have the right guy in place. We did not. Mike Vrabel is a heck of a football coach. You know, look at what's going on in Jacksonville. Jacksonville was garbage with really good players on their team. Now they got the right coach, and guess what? They're good. Right? The average football fan, other than Trevor Lawrence, the average, I'm not saying the diehards like my folks I follow me on TikTok, my friends who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you guys, you're diehard football fans. You could rattle off 10 people from the Jaguars. But the average football fan outside Trevor Lawrence could not name 3 people on the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3 star players. Coaching matters. The Saints, Kellen Moore the Saints won 6 games this year. The Saints were god awful. If you don't think coaching is a big part of why teams turn around, then you just maybe reconsider. But yes, I do whoever that said that on TikTok, I agree with that. The players still have to go because I said it on my TikTok. You have to hold the players accountable because at the end of the day, they have to go out there and make plays. They have to make tackles. Right? If you don't make the tackle, that's not on the coach. That's you. You're a professional football player. You should not be learning how to tackle a running back. If you're a defensive back, I'm talking to you, Deontay Banks. If you're a defensive back, you should not be learning how to tackle a running back in the NFL. That's what you learn in Pee Wee football. And you learn to hone that skill in high school. And when you're a professional football caliber player, you don't need to work on that. Okay, that's not coaching, that's the player. That's where I disagree with the good portion of fans that I see on certain pages. I'm going to give my buddy Chuck Knox, who has a fantastic Giants Facebook page. I would give him a great shout out. It's my favorite page other than Big Blue Confidential. He's usually right on point, and you see a lot of fans on there, and I get into it with him. I let him get the best of me. I'll admit it. I let them get me right into it. But I see a good portion of our fan base saying, "Oh, it's the coaching. It's the coaching. It's part of it." Right? If you don't have the right scheme, defense, we had to fire our defensive coordinator because our defensive schemes were awful. I mean, literally awful. Like, I feel like if I could have gone out there on the opposing team against the Giants, and I could have orchestrated a game-winning drive against the Giants. That's how bad their defense was. I could pick apart their defense, knowing exactly what they're going to do or not do. That's how predictable and bad they were. It was terrible. So coaching matters. Like, so if I had to pick, if I had to go, you put me on the spot. You're waterboarding me, and you say, who's going to be the next coach of the Giants? Who do you want? I want John Harbaugh. I want Antonio Pierce as my defensive coordinator, and I want Mike McDaniel as my offensive coordinator. That's what I want. Will I get that? Absolutely not. But I'll take, if you just say you can only have one, I'm just give me John Harbaugh, and we'll figure it out. Bring back Wink Martindale. I don't like the man. You can respect the art and not the artist. I don't like Wink Martindale. I didn't think he was good. I thought he threw Dable under the bus unnecessarily. I don't like it. No matter how you felt about either player, you don't throw other coaches don't throw coaches under the bus. You just don't do that. Right? You could have said no comment. But I liked Martindale was good. He was a good defensive coordinator, and he has a relationship with Harbaugh. I know he's at Michigan right now, and they're trying to make a comeback, but it could happen. Hey, my buddy Goose, Doug Hoyt, if they don't play to win, they shouldn't play. That is 1,000% correct. Go out there and you play. Go play. I want to see my team play with integrity, because that's what I'm about, integrity. And to me, tanking is zero integrity. Because remember, I don't know, there's probably a bunch of you that remember a bunch of years ago before they brought in Sirianni. The Eagles brought in Sirianni. They had Doug Peterson. And he tanked a game at the end of the season to the Giants. Well, I don't know. No, it wasn't the Giants. But they did tank, so the Giants couldn't make the playoffs because they had to win the game. And I don't remember exactly what the situation was, but Peterson did not play with integrity, and he got fired. And the Eagles, as much as it pains me to say this, like, it literally is a knife in my heart in twisting. The Eagles are a very well run organization. There you go. That's my compliment. You never hear it again. They saw right through it. They saw it exactly for what it was. And I'm telling you right now, I will be furious if I ever see the Giants doing shit like that. That would make me more furious than losing games. And losing games on purpose. And you can disagree with me all you want for your stupid draft pick. I don't care about the draft. I care about the draft when the draft happens. Where are we picking? Right? We don't need a quarterback. We need a receiver. We can get him at 5. Yeah, well, we can trade back and get a haul and build our team. Okay, sure, fair enough. Fair enough, right? Because everybody wanted a quarterback. The Raiders need a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. I've seen people saying the Browns, for some reason, want to move up and get a quarterback. I feel like they have their quarterback. I feel like Shedeur is going to be a good pro. Again, you can disagree with that, but the guy went out there and did the job. I feel like he'll get some development. I feel like he's a good player. He didn't make it to the NFL because just based on his name. He's a good player, and he showed flashes of that. But let's just focus on the year that we're on. Let's just play with integrity, play to win. Whatever happens, happens. Let the chips fall where they may. And we'll worry about 2026 and 2026. Let's get the right coach. Then my Browns buddy on TikTok said, you don't see Shedeur. But who do you like? Who do you like? Do you feel like the Browns need a better coach? Yeah, I agree with that. Stefanski's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, just like Dable was supposed to be. He's, well, turns out Daniel Jones didn't suck. At least not as bad as everyone said he did. But it was also unfair to Brian Dable because Daniel Jones was not Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen had that in him the whole time. A good leader unlocks. A good leader makes great players better, or good players great. Right? That's how you say it. A good coach makes good players great. Yeah, I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not ready to be a Cowboys fan. My favorite Cowboys fan, my buddy Rich Henderson, lifetime friend, big Cowboys fan. He's my favorite. He says, and he's going to say it. He already said it. It's July or January 9th. He said next year's our year. Right? It's still early for that, but they say that every year. But I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go there yet. I feel we'll be improved next year. Will we go to the playoffs? Who knows? I just want to improve. Let's win next year. We won 4 games this year. Let's win 5. Just do better than you did. Be 1 win better than you were this year. Right? Because when you fired the entire Nodder's up in the house. What's up, Nodder? Let's go. We were just talking about B3, baby. We should bring back an episode of B3 when Spaceball gets locked out, because it's coming, by the way. If you're a baseball fan, be ready for a long summer. Be ready for a long summer, because you're going to be watching a lot of minor league baseball this summer. Promise you that. Lockout is coming. Thanks, Dodgers. So, yeah, I mean, when you reset your entire coaching staff, you start over. We're starting over, right? And we're slowly turning into the Jets, just like the commercial where you slowly turn into your parents. I think it's a Progressive commercial. I don't know. I forget what commercial it is. Maybe it's Geico. I don't know. Whatever. You're slowly turning into your parents. That we are slowly turning into the New York Jets. Haslam's need to sell the team, I think, with my whole heart. Yeah, good. Listen, you're probably not alone in that, buddy. A lot of Giant fans feel like the Mariners need to sell the Giants, but I tell you right now, that is never happening. They might get generationally, they might go away, but the Mariners are not selling. You don't say that. The Mariners are not selling the Giants. It's a legacy team in the NFL. The New York Giants are a legacy team. The Mara family was one of the founding fathers of the NFL, of modern professional football. They were the founding fathers. They were like the George Washingtons and the Ben Franklins and the Thomas Jeffersons, right? And with Paul Brown and George Halas, you had the Mara family. So they're not selling the team. Good luck with that. Just like Hal Steinbrenner ain't selling the Yankees. It's not happening. We all want him to. It's not happening. But if we could get James Dolan to sell the Knicks, that would be awesome. I digress. This is a Giants show, not the New York sports show. But I know a lot of my TikTok followers would agree with me on most of these things, except for the Met fans. They like to see us in miserable. What is Rich saying? What kind of deal do you think Harbaugh is going to sign for? Listen, back the truck up. I don't care. You're probably going to get at least a 5-year deal. Well, you give him whatever he wants, because the Giants have the second or third. I think the Cowboys have the most money. I think the Rams are 2 and the Giants are 3 as far as most money in the league. That doesn't count for cap, because cap, we are effed on the cap, right? But the coaches don't count. You can give the coach $1 billion if you want to, if you have it. It doesn't count as anything. The coach is a separate salary. You can just pay him whatever you want. So whatever he asks for, you just give it to him. Because I said it a few minutes ago. Harbaugh family, another generational coaching family. As much as I hate Jim, I don't like to say the word hate. As much as I dislike Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, their father, generational. If you have a chance to get a generational coach, you get him. You go get him. Forget about Stefanski. Forget about McCarthy. Forget about Gruden. You go get John Harbaugh. Whatever he wants, you give it to him. If he says, yeah, I want the job, but I don't know if I can work with Joe Schoen. Guess what, Joe Schoen? Bye. You say, hey, Joe Schoen, it's been great. You handshake him, you escort him out, you take his badge and have security walk him out. Giants need Harbaugh and let him build the entire coaching staff bottom up. They also need to give him time to do it right. Yes, Goose, you go 100% correct. That's the thing, because I'm not going to say it's Giant fans. It's just that is my little world in the Giants. But every sports team that is struggling will say the same thing, right? You want to get your guys, you want your team to rebuild, but you want it to happen like this. You want it to go right now. Hey, we were 4-13 this year. Next year, we better be 13-4. That's not how it works. If it happens, great. I love it. Let's go. I'm here for it. But that's not how it works. Okay, it's not going to happen next year. Next year, if we're 7-9 next year, that'll be awesome. But I think we have a good shot to have a good season next year. I saw our opponents. We play the AFC South next year. I think we play the 49ers again. I love that, by the way. I think we're playing the Niners at home again. And I love that because I love the whole bang bang Niner gang thing when they come to Giants Giant Stadium. Even though they kicked our teeth in a little bit that day, it was fun to mess with them in the parking lot because they walked around like they were king shit. And I'm so happy they lost last week. By the way, guys, let's put it up here. Who do you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl? This is a big weekend of football, right? We're in day 2 of a 5-day stretch of football every day. Last night, if you watched the game last night, it was a hell of a football game. Don't know who you root for. I rooted for Ole Miss, Hotty Toddy, because Eli friggin' Manning, because Jackson friggin' Dart, they were both in the house last night. I rooted for Ole Miss. I like to see the U come back again. That's nostalgic. I have a very close friend of mine who's a huge Miami fan. Shout out to Kev Mike. I'd love to see them win for him. It's been 24 years, 25, something like that, since they've even been back. 24 years since they've even been back to the playoffs, to the championship game. So I hope they win. Tonight's game, Oregon, Indiana, crapshoot. Indiana's a hell of a football team. Again, coaching matters. He's a hell of a football coach, man. That's a good, and it was very cool. Very cool to see all 4 coaches in the semifinals of the college football playoff, all Nick Saban disciples. That's cool. Because to me, you could say Bear Bryant, you can say Joe Paterno. As a Penn State fan, I love Joe Paterno. The other business notwithstanding, he was a great football coach. But Nick Saban is the GOAT. No one will ever convince me otherwise. Nick Saban is the absolute GOAT of college football. Right? You have him, guys like Gino Auriemma. Well, to me, people will say John Wooden. Gino Auriemma is better than John Wooden. I know he coaches a women's game, but who cares? He's a phenomenal leader. Hey, you have guys like him, and you have Casey Stengel and Tommy Lasorda in baseball. You know what? You have Phil Jackson in the NBA. Guys like that, GOATs. Nick Saban's the absolute GOAT. And all 4 coaches in the college football playoff finals, semifinals, all coached under Nick Saban. And I'm sure he's the proud papa. Up on that stage for college game day, he's probably beaming. Good for him. I love to see it. But tonight's matchup, I think, is going to be good. Both teams are very. Indiana's a very good football team. I did not think that they would do what they did to Alabama, but they embarrassed them, and I was here for it. I liked it, but I like what they do. Mendoza's obviously a tremendous quarterback. He's going to go to the Raiders. Do you think this is one of the best group of coaches that are getting your jobs? Yeah, there's 8. There's 8 vacancies. More than a third of the NFL. No, look, less than about a quarter of the NFL. A little over a quarter of the NFL is looking for a new head coach. Wow. Shocker. Who was a shock, right? Who's a shock? Pete Carroll getting fired was shock to me. I did not see that coming. I thought McDaniel would have been fired way earlier in the year. How he survived the entire season is beyond me. Like, I think Quinn Ewers actually saved his job for at least for a few weeks. Him getting fired was a no-brainer. Obviously, we knew the Giants situation. Harbaugh, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I figured, more importantly, I think the game between the Steelers and the Ravens on Sunday night, which was also a great football game, and ended horribly for the Ravens. The loser's coach was probably losing their job, and here we are. And I felt the Giants were right there to swoop in and grab whoever that was, because I would have taken Mike Tomlin as well. Rich going Oregon, so if Rich is going Oregon, I'm going Indiana. I'm going to pick Indiana because Rich is he's not accurate most of the time. Like, who is? Oregon is tough. I give a slight edge to Oregon because I like the way they play offense better. But listen, just like Miami, everybody's like, Indiana's going to get beat. Indiana's going to get beat. They can't hang with the big boys. Here we are. We're about to have an Indiana-Miami national championship game, which will be tremendous. That'll be is that Tuesday night? Is that Tuesday night? Could you look at that for me? I think that's day 5 of 5 for football days in a row. Day 5 of 5 is the national championship game on Tuesday night. And then tomorrow we got a couple NFL games. I think tomorrow is the early game is Carolina and the Rams, LA, who juggernaut. Hey, Rich, he says Rich is the kiss of death. Yeah, pretty much. I thought we've been friends long enough. I know that you pick teams, and the next thing you know, I do the same thing. That's why I try not to pay. I feel like Indiana is the better team, but it's all about who's going to want it more. Like last night. Last night was a toss-up. I thought Ole Miss would win because I like their offense better, but Miami came to play, man. Hats off to Carson Beck, too. The guy's been playing college football for like 15 years. He finally, because he has a bad reputation of not being able to get it done. I know he's won a couple of national championships, but I feel like he wasn't the starting quarterback when he won. That one game he did get hurt. But I figured that he was going to throw an interception or fumble or make a boneheaded play on that last drive, but he got it done. And he was money on that drive. Money. He did almost throw a pick, though. He tried to throw it out of bounds, and he didn't quite get it high enough, and it almost got picked off. But I feel like, let me see. College football playoff national championship game on the 19th. So Monday night? No way. Someone looked that up. It says 19th and there, but I know there's an NFL game. There's no way they're competing with the NFL playoffs because Monday night is Steelers. The Steelers are playing Monday night. I forget who they're playing. I think the national football championship game is Tuesday night.
It says Friday next.
Oh wait, that's next week. The 19th is next week.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. What day 5 is Monday night. It's the Steelers. And who the Steelers playing in the playoffs? They're hosting because they won the North. I forget who they're playing. Yeah, tomorrow we got Rams Panthers, and then tomorrow night's game. Is Jordan Love playing? That's the key. That's the key. If Jordan Love's playing, it's clips for the Packers. Jordan Love ain't playing. Oh, that's right. Hey, Houston. They're playing Houston. Thanks, my friend. They're playing Houston on Monday night. Steelers. Yeah, Steelers are playing Texans in Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh, even though being home, and that's a great, but I did go to another Steelers game this year. I went to the Steelers Bengals. It's a great place to see a game. If you have never been to Pittsburgh to see a football game, do yourself a favor, go see a football game. If it's your team, if it's just you're just there, or you just want to go and do a stadium tour and then see the Steelers play, it's an experience. It is a phenomenal place to see a football game. The city is phenomenal. The people are great. I mean, I got treated like I was part of the fam. And I did rock a James Harrison jersey while I was there. I did buy one, a throwback. It's pretty awesome. I'm proud of it. I like it. It's one of the few jerseys of another team that I'll wear. Because James Harrison is one of my favorite players ever. So, Steelers is great. That's going to be, but I don't think they have enough. Houston's defense is disgusting, and Aaron Rodgers is showing his age. I don't feel like they have enough to get it done. But that's, they'll surprise me, but then Steeler fans will be calling for Tomlin's head again after Monday night. But I definitely like the Rams tomorrow. I definitely like if Love's playing, I give the Packers a shot. But if Love's not playing, it's Bears all day. The Bears are a really good football team. Sunday, we got an early game. They're giving the Packers got the edge on that? That's crazy. So Jordan Love must be playing. Sunday, we got early game. We got the Jags and the Bills. That's going to be a pretty good game. Buffalo is a slight underdog there. Okay, well, listen. The Jaguars are quietly one of the best teams in the NFL this year. No one pays attention to them because it's Jacksonville. But they're good. They're a good football team. They're well coached. They have a phenomenal quarterback. They're good. I like to see them. I like them to beat Buffalo because Josh Allen can't do it by himself. I know he's got Cook, but I feel like Josh Allen can't do it alone. He's the Aaron Judge of the NFL. Got to put a better team around him, bro. So he's never going to get over them. But this is it. Listen, if you are an AFC team, you feel like this is your open window here, right? The Chiefs are down, right? The Bills are kind of down, even though they were 11-5. They still had a down year, right? They're down. The Chiefs are down and out. I think the Chiefs might go on a little bit of a run of having not having a great season. Injury report. This is the injury report for the Bills. Okay, so the Bills have. I listen. I go with the intangibles. I like the Jags at home. The middle game. What's the middle game Sunday is Philly and San Francisco. Philly should probably at least. Oh yeah, that's. What's the spread on that? I can't read. What's the spread? Is it 4.5? I think it's 4.5. That's conservative.
5.5.
5.5. That's okay. I would take that action. I feel like the Niners, they'll play tough, but they always get in their hand and clap when they play the 49ers or when they play the Eagles. I don't know what it is. Brock Purdy just is afraid of the Eagles. This is going to come back to bite me. This is just how I feel. I feel like the Eagles are having a down year. Offensively, they're not the same team they were last year. I know Saquon had over 1,000 yards rushing, but he stat padded at the end of the season against some really bad football teams that couldn't stop the run. Raiders specifically. Yeah. Injury reports. The Eagles. That looks like a freaking. Yeah, the Eagles. Is Lane Johnson going to play? That's key. But I feel like the Eagles, with their new offensive coordinator, have not gotten on the same page this year. I mean, Hurts is a good quarterback. Obviously, you can't take nothing away from him. The guy's won the Super Bowl and he was the MVP. I'd be a hypocrite if I said you weren't a good quarterback if you have a Super Bowl MVP because Eli Manning has won 2 of them and he was a good quarterback. I feel he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, Hurts still has a ways to go before he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a good quarterback. He's middle to upper part of the pack. He's not elite. Hurts is not an elite quarterback. I've watched him play too much, and I've seen him do too many things that he is not elite. He's a running back who can throw. He's the slightly less good Lamar because Lamar has a cannon. So I don't know. I'm going to get some hate from Eagles fans, but who cares? I hate y'all anyway. But I still feel the Eagles win that game Sunday pretty handily. I feel like their defense is good. They're going to have to. I mean, McCaffrey. We're not even going to talk about Christian McCaffrey because the second time this year He screwed me on a parlay. Second time, I said, hey, he's not going to do it twice. Eventually, he's going to. Last week against Seattle, he screwed me. I'm not on that train anymore. I need to see him. I need to see them do something. I don't feel like they have enough. And then the night game is the Patriots and the Chargers. Patriots at home. I like the Patriots big at home. So does Vegas, apparently. Yeah, that's going to be. Let's see. What do we got on that? Patriots 3.5. I mean, they're giving 3.5 at home. I think that's not enough because I feel like they're good at home. Vrabel will have them ready. I'm not high on the Chargers defense. Their lack of ability to get to the quarterback. Their offense is good. The Patriots are going to have to work. But I feel like the Chargers' lack of pass rush is really going to hurt them because I don't care what you think about the Patriots. I absolutely like Houston on Monday night. Absolutely. I like Houston probably by double digits, by at least 10. Cut my thread again. I shouldn't have looked over at. I don't care what you feel about the Patriots and their schedule this year. They're a good football team. I saw them in person. Drake May is a very good quarterback. He has a claim staked where he is a legitimate MVP candidate. He's in the conversation. Probably him and Stafford should be 1A. He's that good. He's had a great season. He's a good quarterback. He's got weapons. I don't know. Look, they haven't suspended Diggs, have they? Is Diggs playing? I don't know. I haven't heard of suspended because that's big if he is. But their defense is good. They're well coached. I like the Patriots at home. And then Monday night, I like Houston big. I don't think Pittsburgh has enough. I mean, their weapon that they have, their tight end, their big kid, Darius Alexander, I think his name is. I saw that kid against Cincinnati make an all-time like Mark Bavaro type shit. Caught the football and ran like 38 yards with like bowling dudes over. And sorry, TikTokers, my stream, they're trying to yell at me for my stream ending. Anyway,
you gotta put the
what the hell? What the hell, TikTok? It's gonna go off in a couple minutes. I gotta wrap this up. Yeah, I saw him carry dudes down the field and just knock dudes over, and that kid's a unit. He's got a broken arm. He's not playing. I don't know what Watt's status was. He looked like in a serious. Like, who's tougher than that dude? Like, I know when I was a kid, I watched. I think it was Jack Youngblood for the Rams played the Super Bowl with a broken leg. He played in the Super Bowl with an actual broken femur.
He's built different,
bro. Athletes in the 70s were built different. What they were, right? Because you got LeBron, who has an ingrown toenail, and he's out for 3 days. I'm not trying to pick on LeBron because I respect LeBron, but you got LeBron is soft for the type of dude he is. NBA players in general are soft nowadays. But you had guys like Ronnie Lott cutting his finger off so he could play in the Super Bowl. The doc said, well, we only play you. How can I play? Oh, you can cut your finger off. Do it. And he did it. So they won the Super Bowl. Like the 49ers have never lost in the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, that's not true. They lost to the Ravens. But you know what I mean? Dudes were just built different then. But TJ Watt was a throwback last week when he had a broken rib or something. He had punctured lung or something was going on there. I think it was a punctured lung. So he got treated for, I think a needle punctured his lung because he was getting treatment for something else. And they accidentally punctured his lung. He said, I'm playing this game. It's too meaningful. And you could tell that he was just not the same. And you could see him wincing in pain and just grabbing his side. I'm like, dude, I respect the shit out of that dude. That's toughness. See the Giants do that, man. Bring that back.
Troy Taylor.
Yeah, bring that. Dude just played hurt all the time. I know guys play hurt now, but it's different. I mean, if they pay these guys way too much money. There's too much money. They're investments now. They're not players. They're investments. And a lot of times they want to play, but they get held out. When they should hold them out, Tua, we shouldn't be in the game because you can barely function. Why aren't you wearing that black hat hanging on the wall? It's not mine. I did not earn the right to wear that black hat on the wall. That is my producer's hat, and he is a stud. He earned that. So anyway, I got to wrap this up, guys. We're going to get kicked off TikTok here. It's been an hour. I'm glad to be back. I was in Nashville for a while with my son, turned 21. Took him down there. It was a blast. Still recovering, flushing my liver. It was a great time. I hope that everybody had a great holiday. And please follow me, like me on TikTok. Jump in, share it with your friends. I'll be back. We're going to try to get another show next week. We'll dive in to see if anything happens with Harbaugh. I'll jump on live at home, but we'll try to come back next week, talk some NFL playoffs, and talk some college football national championship game. So have a great week, everybody. Enjoy football palooza over the weekend. And good game tonight, and 5 games over the next 2 days in the NFL. Playoff games are here, baby. I love it. Have a good weekend, everybody. We will see you later.